Well, guys, it seems that we are back again. We got individuals here that seemingly have an issue and or problem when it specifically deals with black men. The generalization, all black men are evil, all black men are criminals, all black men don't love black women, and yada 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 yada, and all the other men out there are so much more better and they suit better, and marriage and all of these other types of things, right? But yet, with all of these things that they tend to say about black men negatively, and how every other group of men directly out there seems to, love them and is really out there trying to snatch them up. They're flying from all across the world to come to the United States to snatch up every single black woman, have kids directly with them, get married, get engaged directly to them at, phenomenal rates, right? But even with all of those things being said, why is it possible that these individuals are still so fixated and focused on black men? And I always wondered that, because it's a little bit odd that if you have a preference and you say that you are happy with your preference and your preference is indeed happy with you, then you should specifically be focused on that. But here we are.
Like I said, I'm in a happy relationship now. I've been thinking back to some previous relationships I was in. Like, there was a girl I dated. She was black. Well, I mean, she's still black. That's how... She was a person I dated. English is hard, whatever. And she had a weird conversation with me, like 2 months into us dating. It made me think that she had some different motives to dating me. Made me uncomfortable. She was like, Jeff, I'm happy to finally be with a white man. Black dudes, you can't trust them. They're just gonna cheat on you. They ain't shit. You know how uncomfortable you feel right now? Imagine how I felt. This is in real life for me. This is just a story for you motherfuckers. I felt uncomfortable as shit. I didn't know what to do.
Moving right back into Weirdo Nation, you have this video here where you can clearly see that for whatever reason she wanted to post a white woman that was doing soccer practice and missed. I feel like that was a shot directly towards the white woman again, which is a little bit weird, because if you have a preference as a black woman, you should be specifically focused in on that preference. But not only did she have the white woman directly in there, she also wanted to throw a shot directly at black men, trying to say that they are colorist and hate themselves because, hey, I'm a black woman and I'm dark, but you opted not to go for me, so you missed directly out. So this is the person that specifically got me. Ha ha ha, as some type of weird gotcha moment. But again, this is a person that's supposed to be fixated, that's supposed to be happy, that's supposed to be acknowledging their significant other. And again, it really shouldn't be because of their race, but they decided that they wanted to make it about race because one group, aka black men, are worst and bottom tier, versus quote unquote white men are the apex. They're directly at the top. They're the best of the best. They really know how to love and treat black women. They love black women because of their natural hair and all this other type of stuff, and rah 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 rah. But the oddest thing is, this video did not turn out the way that she thought it was going to turn out. Fields of people came directly to the comment section and told her that she horribly missed the mark directly on the video. And she did, because again, it's weird, because in a sense you're saying that the only reason that you're with the quote unquote white guy is because you couldn't get picked up by a black guy, or at least you could not find the right one. And that is what tends to be the case with a lot of these folks directly out here, because they went through 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 black guys on a date, and they might have had some situations that did not fare too well, right? Some situations in which their feelings got specifically hurt. They decided in their minds that this is the totality, right? This is the whole of black men in general, and this, as the whole of black men, this is specifically how they feel about black women. Weird.
Oh, man.
I know this is going to be a hot take, but I don't like seeing black women talk about the desirability of black men on the internet. Or men, really. But black men, it's like, please don't. I get the ick, because black men down black women so much on this here internet. I hate to see them bigged up on here by black women. I'm sorry. Only like relationships and stuff, that's cute. But like, if it's a black woman, like, even if it's like stitching another black man, like, oh, he's so fine, I hope he wants me, anything of that nature, I'm just like, I'm throwing up. Like, I can't, because just the amount of black men that just on black women daily on this internet, I can't stand us to look like that is our only option. I just can't. And that is a very hot take, and no one has to agree with me on this, but that, I don't know. I know that's so bad. It's so bad, but it's so real. It's so real. I'm sorry. Ugh.
Now, beyond her, because obviously she has a preference and it's obviously not black men, this is why she spent the time and the effort to do her makeup, her eyelashes, her hair, put on a nice dress, and decided to make a video specifically talking about black men in a negative light versus being focused specifically on the preference and who it is that she wants to be picked by, which is obviously, again, not a black male. You have this person here that decided to say, I can't be friends with the black men who date white women. Next, they said, I'm sure this is why I've slept with so many white men. Underneath that, she said, I love when I date white men because I never have to redo my locks. I'm taking 1.5 inches of regrowth. And last but not least, she said that, and I'm also a victim of black men. Black men are the white men of black people. Huh? Like that. Where do what? How does it? So you're saying that in a sense that, right, white men are great for you, but you're also saying in the same extent that white men are bad, right? But the bad side of white men aren't even doing. It's really black men that are doing the bad side of what white men naturally do. What?
So I'm about to say something that's going to probably piss some people off, and I don't care. But yeah, Olandria was never going to end up with a black guy, and I know that it's gonna be hard for some of y'all to swallow, but let's be real. Alandria is a different class of black woman. And for the black women in Nicolandria, I'm pretty sure y'all know what I'm talking about. And this is not a dig or slight or anything like that. Like, I personally believe a white man was always going to be in Alandria's future, just simply because of how she carries carries herself, how she moves. Just, she gives that a white man was going to snatch her up. Like, the only black man that comes to my mind that would be able to snatch an Alandria up would be a Russell Wilson. That is the only man, like, in her bracket, time frame, generation, whatever the case may be. Like, right now, the only one I'm thinking is Russell, and Russell got Sierra. So it's just like, baby, I just wanted to come here and say that. Like,
so now we have the fixation, right? And we have two different fixations, right? We see the type of animosity that is directly towards Taylor Swift, aka a Caucasian woman who is a billionaire, and how this woman basically stated that she already knows at the end of the day that white boys are going to go directly back to the women of their community. But yet this is your preference, and you made a post about it, and you are mad because those guys who are of that community are going to, at the end of the day, go back to women that look like their mothers or the women of their family. That's a bit weird. That's a bit strange. And then again, she wanted to make a comparison in between how black women look and how Taylor Swift looks. Again, it seems as though that somebody's mad that Travis Kelce decided that he was done playing around and wanted to settle down with somebody of his community. Next, we have the woman directly on the side, and I made sure to blur out the images that were directly there, right? She said, what a time to be alive. Back when black men knew not to mess with white men that black women are interested in. And the images that she wanted to show are historical in nature. These are images that people can look up and find history specifically and directly on. And you would have to question and wonder, why would a woman such as this, decide that she would want to post images like this in order to have a gotcha moment at black men. But yet, I have a video that would, in a sense, give a little bit of insight to that.
I was wondering why no one thought to say and voice their opinion that when I look at these white men, they are the epitome of masculine, and watching some of these police officers manhandle these black men in the street is very attractive, and it's a turn on, And I'm wondering, does anybody else feel like that?
Hold on.
Yes, Lord.
Y'all off the chain, okay? Y'all are off the proverbial chain.
That's Discord talk.
I'm telling
you.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, that's Discord talk.
I was like, why has nobody said that? Because I'm like, that's masculine. You talk about masculine.
We say that all the time in Discord, Tanasia.
You say that for the back.
Yeah, you have to save that one for the back room when we got the door closed. I can't with y'all.
We use the hard R for long.
Okay. Yeah, I'm talking about, we say the hard R so hard, it sounds like we growling back there around this bitch.
Oh, Tanasia, you got to come back there with us.
Now we're going to look at a sports reporter, right? And to the left, it says that Tom Brady compliments a sports reporter on her hair. Obviously, it's a black woman. She is wearing her hair fully out, right? And underneath, you see her comment in the middle. It says that she said that I'm convinced that white men want black women more than black men, right? And you see other black women directly under the comment section. One person said that, that's right, Tom, get over to the winning side. Another woman directly underneath said, atta girl, followed by where you at, right? Again, just telling her to go directly at it, right? And then to the right side, you see that she is married, right? It says underneath the post, it says the day we officially became the Pierres, nothing will ever top having our favorite people in one room celebrating love, right? So then let's go to the very left side bottom. It says that since I've clearly struck a nerve, LOL, let's be clear, I am proudly married to a black man and very much so pro-black love. At the same breath, I have lots of dating single black girlfriends who all seem to be hitting it off on their dates with white men, while they report black men not giving them the same level of flattery nor pressure. Don't come for me. I'm just speaking from experience of people I know, all women who never thought they'd date white men. Yet, that's where things are heading. Now, again, it's a little bit weird to see a woman here that is in the light. She's in the limelight, right? She has her own thing basically going. She gets complimented by Tom Brady, right? Quarterback. Patriots, right? One of the greats, right? And then automatically she's eating this up directly online. And then you have other women deciding that they want to propel her directly for, go directly for white men. Matter of fact, go directly for Tom Brady. It seems that he likes you. He likes your natural hair. We already know that black men are not even, in that space. They can never fathom, loving a black woman for who it is that she is naturally and in her natural God-given state, right? But then at the same time, and I promise you, a lot of these women know and understand because they more than likely follow her, that she is married to a black man. Now, notice how disrespectful that is in two cases. Number one, is disrespectful for those women to decide that they want to push her towards somebody else, right? Knowing the situation. And then number two is disrespectful by her, right? Being a wife to a black man to go online and sit up there and say that I'm convinced that white men want black women more than black men. How do we get here? You said yourself that you're pro black love and you're married to a black man. So how did we get to the point of you sitting up there saying, knowing the fact that you got a ring on your finger that a black man gave you, he took the time, the energy, and the effort to say that, yo, I see you as my significant other, my other half. I want to be with you. I want to get married. I want to have a lifelong partner. I want to be, happy and all of this thing, right? And you come online and you sit up there and say that white men love you more. That's very interesting. Very, very interesting.
Y'all gonna cancel me, but today marks the day that I will be dating outside of my race. And I know what you're about to say. Aren't you pro-black? I am. But as a dark-skinned black woman, the most hate I get is from my own men. And me restricting myself to only dating black men is giving me little to no options. Because there's only like a small group of black men who actually like women like me. And trust me, I've been trying to educate black men about colorism, futurism, texturism my whole damn life. I do it on my platform every day. But a lot of them choose to stay dense and ignorant. And I'm sorry, but you're not about to ask me to wait for these men to stop being colorists. I cannot wait any longer for these men to stop the self-hatred. I want to go where I'm wanted. I'm tired of sitting in places where I'm not wanted and try to convince the people that I should be desired. I'm sorry, but I'm done with that. So from this day forward, Shakira will be looking outside of her race when it comes to dating.
So before I read these comments, I just want to put directly out there, miss me with the whole thing of like, oh, this is AI and all this other. This was out before people were even saying anything about AI and deep fakes and anything of that sort. That was before the general public really caught on and understood and started really paying attention to some of the technology directly out there. So again, miss me with all of that BS. And I find it also very interesting that whenever I happen to showcase things like this, a lot of people want to sit up there and say specifically if it's quote unquote a black woman saying it, magically it's AI, it's a deep fake, it's a robot. But the same exact grace, the same exact care is not given when it is deemed to quote unquote be a black male that is saying these things online, either by visuals or audibly or a combination of both. Nobody ever wants to question, oh, maybe that's not a black man that's actually saying that. Maybe that's somebody else with a voice changer. Nope, nope, nope. It automatically has to be a black man. It's always a black man because black men are known to always hate and to only hate black women directly out here, right? So again, you'll see some of the comments directly up here that are posted 3 times, in a sense, people parroting the exact same thing. The person underneath those comments said, black men turn me off. Y'all literally disgust me or disgusting to me. I will never marry a black man, period. Another person to the side that said, Anthony, the bullet bag, said, does generalization to an entire group make sense to you, right? Has the name directly up there because that's the name that black women online have given and branded black men directly with. The other person directly underneath him said, be blessed, bullet bag. Right? Another person underneath all of those comments said they barely deserve to live. Basically talking about black men. Again, they would never have this type of animosity or these types of words for any other men directly out there, no matter how they act, no matter how they behave, no matter how they go at and treat their women historically. Next to the right, you have a person that says, to be honest, I think black women should start falsely accusing black men of very serious crimes and assaults. It works for white women and they get a pretty penny from it. If black women can't get the coin through marriage, then we might as well get it through the courts. But again, you have a lot of these folks directly out here. Of course, these 2 women that I've showed directly off at the very first part of the video that decided to state that, you know, whenever I happen to post these videos or this information directly up here, it's all just fake. It's all just procedurally generated. It's all AI. It's all deep fakes because no black woman ever would say anything ever negatively about a black man.
The educated women, the women with their businesses, instead of leveling themselves up, and now they're going out by bait. So this is why I said too, we gotta stop birthing black kids and birth some mixed kids because now they taking our babies. They taking our babies at 18, 19, 21. And I'm happy to hear that 24-year-old girl that said that, no, I'm dating outside of my race because they coming after you now. Because they know we're not going for the women in their 30s and 40s. you know, you and Crystalline, y'all got to keep making strides because these black men, y'all woke up a little too late. You should have got Tommy Sotomayor in order 10 years ago. You should have got O'Shea Duke Jackson or the Manosphere, Mr. Magic, whatever his name is, fantastic. You should have got all of them together 10 years. It's too late now. The women with money, like me, Leandria, Deborah, the women with money, we don't know. We're taking our money somewhere else now. And what's going to happen to the community now? So, you know, let the white women have y'all. Just continue to date out. Go to the white women. That's
all y'all black men talking about y'all finna lead the country because y'all sick of black women and y'all sick of our attitudes and y'all sick of our masculinity and y'all sick of us having to take care of ourselves. Guess what? We don't give a fuck. Bye. Because we want white men anyway.
You want to know why they go after the girls that have no interest in them? Think about the male fantasy and then think about all the hot female villains in those games, videos, all that stuff. Think, like, really sit and think. It all really boils down to the fact that they don't want a black woman. They might say that, but they are lying. This might be a shitty take, I'm not really sure, but every single time, I guess you could call me an alt-girly, I like alternative music, aesthetic, like that kind of aesthetic, and every time I've ever met a man like that, they do not want to talk to me. They always hit you with the, you're really pretty, but I only date white girls. Why is it that you only date white girls, babe? Are you that mentally enslaved? Are you that intellectually subservient? They want this woman that's nowhere even within their grasp because they think that they deserve it because of society, because of the patriarchy. I'm not that articulate, so like I can't really get out what I want to say, but like y'all, there's implied nuance. We're both single and ready to mingle.
I promise it's not like the band.
Hey, don't listen to her. She lying. She's not ready to mingle.
She is, yeah. She's single,
but she's single, but not mingling material.
Now, isn't it interesting how the same person that has so much to say about black men is the exact same person that is chasing directly after white men? As you can clearly see by her own admission in her own videos, she showcases all of the men that she decided to specifically go after and date. Not one of those men directly up there are black. On top of the fact that when she was inside of a diner, a restaurant, whatever you want to call it, she decided to make a video of a white boy sitting directly down, and she was filming and she was like, I'm single and I'm ready to mingle. Yeah, okay. That doesn't seem a little bit weird. That doesn't seem like you're trying to, as they would like to say, like a pick me or a pick me show or whatever it is that the terminology that these divesting black women like to use towards other black women who are interested in black men. That seems exactly like that. And again, it's a little bit odd to me that you've gone through, and I do mean literally gone through so many white men, and yet you've come up shorthanded. You come up with no ring. You don't have a longevity when it deals with a relationship. Nothing. But yet you're online at one point talking bad about black men and saying how they fetishize and go directly after white women and love them and all of these things because of the movies and the anime and all this other type of stuff. But then in this exact same vein, you pedestalize white men by your own admission. And you showcase this is who you specifically go after and this is your preference. And again, I don't have a problem with people specifically having a preference. I have a problem when people have a preference and then you want to judge others for having, in a sense, the exact same ethnicity of preference that you do, but you want to consider it wrong when they do it, but right when you do it. You want to consider it love right when you do it, and you want to consider a fetish when the others do it. That's a little bit weird to me. Just a bit. I ran across this online as I was putting together the content specifically for this video, and I noticed this comment. It said, as a white dude who has basically exclusively dated and had relationships with black women, most who have never dated a white dude, I can tell you that some of my weirdest convos have been having to defend black men. The stereotypes are kind of crazy. Some have been adamant of black men being great too. So let's not only weigh the bad mouthing. but I genuinely lose interest on any black woman keen to degrade her own. I know a lot of brothers who have been nothing but excellent partners, and some of them are the reason why I'm here today.
Like I said, I'm in a happy relationship now. I've been thinking back to some previous relationships I was in. Like, there was a girl I dated. She was black. Well, I mean, she's still black. That's how. She was a person I dated. English is hard, whatever. And she had a weird conversation with me, like 2 months into us dating. It made me think that she had some like different motives to dating me. Made me uncomfortable. She was like, Jeff, I'm happy to finally be with a white man. Black dudes, you can't trust them. They're just gonna cheat on you. They ain't shit.
So next he said, man, the amount of times I've heard black men don't protect black women. They don't marry black women. Black men don't know this, and etc., etc. And me showing them stats of the overwhelming majority doing so is crazy. There's 8-ish men and women of all around, and ethnicity is not a factor. Values are. Got to the point where I genuinely get happy seeing a black woman big up their black man, as unfortunately, the hate always floats to the top on social media. Personally, I can't stand generalizations. The comment he said, I think some people feel safe bad-mouthing a certain group since they think you'll join in. It's the same with dudes on women or old people versus young people. All kinds of xenophobic remarks and etc. In some minds, why would I defend someone from a group I'm not a part of? Again, this has happened a few times in a big enough universe. So I also have the opposite experience with certain women. Some women have dated me, as in, quote, I'm the exception, and they never played about their black men. So there's also positive examples, also very dependent on the country they are from. So again, my main point is to showcase the fact that you have fields of black women out here who are in some type of jaded type of thing. In a lot of instances, you have these black women who are older, who tend to have gone through a certain type of black men, no matter what the red flags were or are, and then wanted to act as though that they were just 100% blindsided, that they didn't specifically know what was going to happen if they messed with or were around a certain type of black men. It's the exact same instance as when you have guys out here that decide to mess with women who, you know, are shared by other guys directly out here. You know what comes specifically with that, you know the drama, you know the danger, and you know the potentiality that you might lose your life over a woman who really ain't worth it because she's being shared with about, you know, 5 or 10 different guys directly out there. And each one of those guys who is with that woman feels as though that she belongs specifically to them, but realistically she belongs to a group. So like I said before, a lot of men out here know the consequences, know what will specifically happen if they make the wrong decisions. So within that, and knowing the fact that you have people that are at least logical and intelligent about it, I give the exact same grace, right, to women. And women are supposed to be the ones that, you know, God gave the natural, normal ability to know if a man is not the right man or if a man is the correct man. But again, for some odd reason, depending on the guy, a lot of women out here will decide to cut off the spider sense. They will decide to cut all of that off, and magically they're just not aware of anything. They're just dumbfounded, a deer caught in headlights whenever something specifically takes place. And when something specifically takes place with those men that they specifically chose to give time and attention and accept it directly into their life and their energy, when things go awry, they decide that they don't want to sit up there and take the acceptance, the responsibility, or the acknowledgement of the part that they specifically played in that relationship or in that situation and or scenario. Instead of doing that, they opt for, all black men ain't this, all black men ain't that, you black men this, you black men that, y'all ain't fathers, y'all ain't providers, you're not good men, you're criminals, you're psychopaths, you're sociopaths, you're schizophrenic. magically every single time a black man is everything but a child of God. And again, as a content creator, as a black American male who has done this content for a long time, covered this content for a very long time, I can tell you, and I've showcased directly to you guys, the fact that I've had black women pull up to the scene and call me everything but a child of God. Now, can I sit up there and say that I have black women that support me and that's been here for the longest time possible? Yes, I can. A lot of those black women are my moderators directly on this channel, and I love, respect, and appreciate and value them every single day, right? But again, outside of them, again, there's fields of black women out here who don't value, who don't love, who don't respect, who don't acknowledge, and who will always go out of their way to badmouth, to denigrate, to browbeat, and to always say something negative about black men, and young black boys directly out here. Again, you heard a woman from an older generation stating that she's talking to, at least during the time of the video, talking to her 12-year-old niece about going directly after white boys or men who are not black American. Just like she tried to have the conversation with her daughters and she said that they're lost. But notice how she didn't say that her daughters were in a bad relationship. Notice how she didn't say that those black men that her daughters are with are bad men. She didn't open her mouth to say that. She skipped all over that. And it's funny how a lot of women there miss that. They can pay attention to all the negative stuff whenever a woman states something about black men, but they don't pay attention to the things that aren't said. And that speaks volumes by itself. So again, no matter however it is that she feels about the black men, the older black men that she specifically dealt with, and how it is that she was treated, she can't put that same energy and baggage onto her daughters. She can't try to place that same branding on the black men that her daughters are currently with, or at least were with at that given moment in time. Like I said before, you have a lot of women that specifically want to put women on a dark road, or they want a lot of other black women to be single because they are single. Or you got a lot of black women out here who want other black women to hate black men because they themselves hate black men. But anyways, thank you for being here for my little TED Talk. I hope that you guys, viewed it and potentially enjoyed it, able to take something directly from it. And, maybe in some type of way, fashion, or form, it may have been entertaining directly to you. But anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comment section, comment description below, and I'll catch you guys in the next video and or live stream. Peace out.